New South Wales Premier-elect Chris Minns says his team will get to work on implementing their key priorities this afternoon. Kenny Heatley is at Chris Minns' seat of Kogarah. Kenny, what has the incoming Premier been up to after last night's win?
Yes, Janie. Well, according to his family, that they've been overwhelmed with everything that's been going on over the past 24 hours, but they're very happy for Dad and husband, Premier-elect Chris Minns, out with his family this morning, taking a bit of a stroll to a local café, and along the way meeting voters in Kogarah, which secured him his seat, as well as a 20% swing. He went into the election with the equal lowest margin of 0.1%, and to have an almost 20% swing go your way is absolutely massive. So on the street there was lots of handshakes, a few high fives as well, sitting down at his local cafe in Kogarah, having a relatively awkward coffee and meal considering how many cameras were just pointing on the table and everyone looking over. But then walked to a park where he held a press conference to address media questions, and he says he's wasting no time with his senior team and getting down to work.
We'll be talking with the Shadow Minister-elect for Health, Ryan Park, and Minister-elect for Education, Deputy Leader Prue Carr, about our plans, implementing them as soon as possible and giving confidence to essential workers in New South Wales that there's a government in place that will look after them. We're also preparing legislation to insert Sydney Water inside the New South Wales Constitution as a lock against the backdoor fire sale of this essential public asset.
So working through, no doubt, a few hangovers this afternoon, but the former Premier Dominic Perrottet called Chris Minns about 9 p.m. last night as the seats were falling red to concede. That conversation, according to Chris Minns, will remain private, but here's what he said about Dominic Perrottet this morning.
I do hope to catch up with Premier Perrottet in the coming days, and, you know, I think part of this election campaign, and I hope the legacy of it, is that you can have a political campaign that's respectful and civil, that's focused on the issues, that doesn't take the low road, that doesn't focus on trying to, I guess, destroy someone's personality or character, and instead focus on the issues that voters care about.
Yes, indeed. And Kenny, what have we heard from Dominic Perrottet today?
Well, he was out with a run with his friend and former senior Liberal Minister Rob Stokes, who retired ahead of this election. His own seat is on a margin, a very thin margin at the moment. Still votes yet to be counted. Voting is not happening today. It gets underway again tomorrow. But out for a run, and the media managed to get a little bounce. Here it was.
Really good. You know, it's I think we've done a great job as a government, and I'm really proud of the team I've led and the right role. I think you know, we've worked really hard for a long time.
I reckon every one of my colleagues would do an amazing job. They're all leaders.
Now the soul searching for the Liberal Party begins, and also speculation as to who will be the next Liberal leader from opposition. Surviving the bloodbath last night was Matt Keane. Also, Alistair Henskin's name has been thrown around as who could step up as the new opposition leader. Alistair Henskins was on Sky News this morning.
I'm much more interested in scrutineering and helping people get over the line in terms of their results than talking about leadership. That will be something that will happen, you know, in the party room behind closed doors. Well, look, I think that's a conversation I've got to have with a whole range of people to determine what is the best way forward for the party. That's a question that we need to have, a discussion we need to have amongst colleagues behind closed doors.
Sure.
And it's not appropriate for me to be talking about that.
And Janie, you can guarantee those discussions are already happening behind closed doors.